Hey guys, what's up? Baseball Lover 1984 here. And well, yeah, as you see from the thumbnail, this is my thank you to Brandon Nimmo, one of the longest tenured Mets there have been. You know, I said in my short, I can't believe it. You know, when I woke up the other day and I saw the news, I'm like, wait a minute, we traded Nimmo? Out of everybody else I did not expect Nimmo. I did not expect Nimms. You know, I thought he was going to be like David Wright, a Met until the day he retired. I mean, you know, like I said, longest tenured Met on the team. Like, I mean, seriously, I went and I did the research. Literally, started in 2011 with the Gulf Coast Mets of the Gulf Coast League. Went to the Kingsport Mets in the Appalachian League. Again, all this in 2011. 2012, he was with Brooklyn Cyclones when they were in the Low A League, when the New York Penn League was still around. Then in 2013, he goes to Single A with the Savannah Sand Gnats. Now the Savannah Bananas, but you know, back when they were the Savannah Sand Gnats, the Single A team for the Mets. Then in 2014, he goes to he plays in Binghamton, Double A for the Mets, back when they were just the Binghamton Mets, before they were the Rumble Ponies. Then as well in 2014, I guess he got injured, and he went down to St. Lucie, which is now the High A affiliate for the Mets. 2015, he goes to the Las Vegas 51s, which people forget, you know, was our AAA team for the longest time. But then it's like he basically played in 2015 for all the levels. He was with the Vegas 51s, the Binghamton Mets, the St. Lucie Mets. 2016, he plays again for Vegas, and then gets to come into the big club. You know, it becomes a New York Met, you know, for the first time in 2016. Then 2017, you know, same thing. He starts off in Vegas, goes to St. Lucie, and then joins the big club. 2018, same thing. Starts with Vegas, goes to St. Lucie, comes to the big club. 2019. Now in 2019, we have the Syracuse Mets. So, you know, we moved from Vegas to Syracuse for AAA. But still the same thing. He goes from Syracuse to St. Lucie to the big club. 2020 was his first year with the big club full time. Now, yeah, if you remember 2020, that was the COVID season. But still, you know, he was part of that roster for the 2020 season. 2021, you know, he starts out in Syracuse. But then he gets the call up to the big club in 2021. Then from 2022 until last season, he was with the big club predominantly. Only the big club. You know, he was a Met. I mean, like, seriously, it's... Like, I mean, you know, I got his stats from his entire career as a New York Met. You know, again, with everything playing in the minor leagues, with the big club. You know, he played in 1,678 games under the Mets banner in one way or another. Had a .267 batting average. He had 6,010 at-bats. 1,602 hits. 306 of those were doubles. 63 were triples. 176 home runs, 721 RBIs, 97 stolen bases. He was walked 895 times, struck out 1,547 times. I mean, you know, just as a career in general, that's like, damn. And then, I do follow Nimms on Insta, and it still brings a tear to my eye with what he put, anybody who's interested, I'll put his Instagram handle in the description, but it's bnimmo24. And he literally put, "To the fans I'll always hold near and dear. There is truly no way I could adequately put into words how much my tenure with the Mets has meant to me. All I can say is thank you. Thank you, Mets fans, for embracing and welcoming a kid from Cheyenne, Wyoming to the Big Apple. I always aspired to become a big leaguer. I never knew I'd have the opportunity to accomplish that dream in a city so wildly passionate about the game of baseball. The last 14 years have felt like a dream, and it has been an absolute honor to share them with you. You made me feel like family, and I hope you felt the same. I will always be grateful for our time and memories together. With love, always." I mean, seriously. In a way, in my little script that I wrote here, I even put, I wish they didn't let him go. 2016 to 2025, only a Met. He came up through the farms to the big club. I mean, I'm going to go into his stats in a different video because I'm going to talk about the trade in general with him and Marcus Semien. And I'll give my opinions on if I think it was a good trade, if it wasn't a good trade, but, I'm going to miss. I get to go to Citi Field next season. It's going to feel weird to sit in those stands, especially if I'm sitting with the 7 line, and not have Nimmo in the outfield. That outfield is going to feel so different without seeing number 9. And he said something in an interview about his number being put up into the rafters. I still believe that in the end, we're going to see number 9 go up into the rafters of Citi Field. And I can see him joining David Wright, Keith Hernandez, all the greats, Tom Seaver, Mike Piazza, Darryl Strawberry, Doc, all the greats, Kuzman. Nimms, don't worry. I have that feeling that your number's going to be up there, buddy. I really do. But, I hope you guys enjoy this little thank you video that I made for Nimms. Followed, it's the video that the Mets put out as a thank you to Nimmo. And then following that is my video, which is basically just like a little, clip, picture slideshow, whatever you want to call it, with some GIFs in there of Nimms. Of course, too, the only song that's appropriate, Meet the Mets. But Nimmo, thank you for your time as a Met. No matter what team you're with afterwards, if you stay with Texas for the rest of your career, if you go someplace else, just remember, to a lot of us Mets fans, you will always bleed the orange and blue. We stick to that. Again, thank you, Nimmo, and I will see you all at the ball game.
With the 13th selection of the 2011 first-year player draft, the New York Mets select Brandon Nimmo.
I had some interaction with the fans. I think it went well. I hope it went well.
Nimmo cracks one, deep right center field. Looking up Hayward. It's out of here! Brandon Nimmo's first major league home run.
We're feeding off of your guys' energy. Thank you guys for coming out.
Into the air, deep right center field. And it's out of here! Brandon Nimmo wins it with a 3-run homer.
Brandon, pretty simple first question. Best catch you've made in your life?
Chasing Nimmo back to the warning track right at the fence. He made the catch! Oh, wow!
Yeah, no doubt. That was amazing.
Still going. And it's over. Oh, what a story. Brandon Nimmo puts a hammer down with a 2-run homer.
And sometimes those moments can pass you by, but I was trying to just soak that one in.
When we get to come and be around the community and we get to be around our fans, the kids, that honestly, it just gives them like that realization that like that could be me one day.
Brandon slips in, base hit, and the Mets win the ball game.
Unbelievable. I mean, just trying to come through, get any way I can, get on base, and just keep passing the baton.
Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the Mets, Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets. Oh, they're hollering and cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets. All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves a ball club, the Mets of New York town. Give 'em a yell, give 'em a hand, and let 'em know you're rooting in the stand. Come on and meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the